Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Cut My Throat If It Fulfills You, Buddha. Angu Anuguli said Guru Adiyogi. So anyways, when I was looking through my channel and trying to search for this name. Maybe I did type it in wrong. Should have probably looked Buddha instead of Angulimala. Whoa, why is it Angulimala? And why is it in the title? Why is the title Anuguli-mala? Maybe same meaning? Anyways, I could have sworn I did a reaction video with Sadhguru. I think I might have. I looked for Angulimala on my channel. It might have been under Buddha. Anyways, I'm curious as to hear the updated, hear Sadhguru's version of this. Just to see what Sadhguru says in terms of what Sem has said about this person. So anyways, I was going to give it a shot. While it's fresh in the mind.
See, right now, why there is so much fear is the substance of your life is only in your clothes, your jewels, your education, a few people that you gathered around you. That's all the substance of your life is. All these things can be taken away from you any moment, isn't it? This is the only thing which is giving you solidity. Yes? That little bit of education, your clothes, your jewels, your bank balance, a few people around you, this is all that is giving you some sense of solidity of being a being. This is not a being. This is a patch-up job. So, with such petty blocks, when you build a building, naturally you should be very worried when it'll collapse. Now, instead of using a stone block for this column, if I use the twig, definitely I'll be always worried when it'll collapse on my head, isn't it? Isn't it so? That's your worry, that's your fear. Because you're trying to build your life with twigs, not with solid material, not with reality, with illusory things. Always you will live in fear. There is no other way to live. There is simply… if you're living in a house which is supported by twigs, being afraid that it'll collapse on your head is very natural, isn't it?
But if you build it with enough supporting twigs, it may hold. But I thought he would say, like, people I figured would be a solid foundation. Family, friends. And now I can understand, like, like money, bank account, job, all that as in solidarity, or something to hold your life together. I can see that as being kind of a false, you're not guaranteed your job, you're not guaranteed your money. But generally speaking, your friends and family, so long as you have good friends and families, well, they'll be there until they die. Hopefully it's that long for a lasting relationship. So it's a solid foundation, relatively speaking, of course. I guess everything's kind of relative. But yeah, so long as you have good family and friends, they're there. Your friends don't always all have to be older than you. They can be younger than you. That way, at least you will always have friends, even through your last days. So I would have figured maybe that would have been a solid foundation. I'm hoping maybe later on in this speech he'll say maybe there's a few things in life that are solid foundations. Obviously, you yourself have to be a solid foundation regardless of everything external. I do understand that, but I guess I'm a little bit of an in-between where there are still some solid foundation in the external world. It is not like it's not like you build a house with just one column. You build it with a lot of columns, and each column's going to crumble over time, but if you have enough with you, it's a very solid foundation. Kind of like, obviously, you don't build a house with one twig. You can bundle twigs together, and hopefully it'll hold up just a little bit more. But yeah.
That's all that's happened to you. It's time you bring something more substantial into your life. If you bring something more substantial, then suddenly you find, if you sit here, everything is fine. Life or death, still it is fine. That's how it'll be. A very beautiful story.
Huh.
Buddha, on the last day of his life, he always had a breakfast of rice gruel in the morning. And after this breakfast was over, he always met the monks who were around him.
Sorry, I paused because there's a loud whining noise. And I'm like, is that in the... It was. So if you hear it, it's if you didn't hear it, I'm sorry now.
And every day he said, if you have a question, you ask. This went on for 40 years. 40 years of his enlightened life. Every day after breakfast, he spoke. Whoever was there, 10 people, 10,000 people, whatever number, after breakfast he always sat down and spoke.
Okay, so sorry to keep pausing, but it's coming from my left ear. It's not pleasant. So if you're hearing that, it might be in your left ear too.
So on the last day of his life, he knows this is the last day. He had his rice gruel and he sat down and he said, today is the last day. If you have anything to ask, ask. So many of the monks started crying. I said, what are you crying? At least some other day if you were crying, it's okay. Today is the last day, don't waste the time. Because it's ticking away. Some other day you could cry and roll and you had time for all those things. Today, if you want to ask something, you ask. He was surprised that people are crying. But Master, we have been with you for so long, you're leaving today and they're crying, nobody asking any questions. He said, stop this nonsense, ask some question. Today's the last day, any doubt? Let's clear it.
I mean, would that be really the way you'd want to spend the last days, by asking questions? Should have done that all along. But I guess, if there's any last question that you have, ask. But why not just spend a day together? Well, I don't know what you do back in the day. I was gonna say have fun, So watch a movie, can't do that back then. Play basketball, I mean, I don't know if they had it back then. But I don't know. Enjoy each other's companies while there's time, It's not. It's kind of like, almost like saying that, let's do some work before I pass away. It's like, that's not necessarily how you want to go out, but then again, I get it. If you know this is going to be your last time, better clear up, like you said, any doubts, absolutely. And then, if there's none, then enjoy the day.
After that, there is only teaching. Nobody to clear this and that. See, with every teaching you can get into a mess. When the master is alive, constantly is de-entangling you. Afterwards, no de-entangling, just sadhana is all that is there. So today is the last day. If you want to ask any questions, please ask. It's just matter of fact about it. He's lived well. When death comes, he will die well. He's so certain that he'll die well. So, it's just another day. One day you took on the body, another day you walked about with the body, another day you leave the body. You make a big issue out of it, simply because you have a keyhole vision of life.
His original name we forget.
Gautama?
The name that people gave to him is Angulimala.
Angulimala.
Something happened to him. He felt the society has been unfair to him, became an angry man. When you're young, you think everything is unfair to you. So he became very angry with the society and he took a vow. This town, which has been unfair to him, he is going to kill 101 people. 101 people he will kill, and he will cut each one of their thumb and wear it as a rosary around his neck, a garland of fingers or thumbs.
I believe Sem said… what, did I remember correctly? I think Sem said 1,000.
So he went about doing this. People were terrified to go this way. He's housed in a jungle, but this is the pathway to go to many other places. People got killed. Over a few years, he killed 100 people. He just wants one more to satisfy his lust. So one day, Gautama Buddha came to this town. So by now, because he's wearing a garland of these fingers, they called him Angulimala. That means one who wears fingers as his garland. He just needs one more finger for him to complete his vow. Gautama came and he was to go that way. People said, don't go this way. This is an animal. This is not a man. This is not somebody you can go and give teaching or make him meditative. Just don't go because just one more life he wants, we don't want yours to be that one. Then Gautama said, if I don't go, who will go? And he will remain unfulfilled. He just needs one more finger. If I do not go, who else will go? Let me go. So he went. Angulimala was sitting on a rock. He saw this monk coming quietly. By now, he's enjoying his reputation. People are terrified of him, he likes it. Just the mention of his name, people tremble. He's beginning to enjoy it. So, sitting there on the rock, he roared just to make this monk know that I am here and this is your end coming. Gautama looked at him, kept walking with a smile on his face quietly. He didn't like this. Usually, when they see him or when they hear him, people run helter-skelter, wanting to save their lives. He likes that.
The thrill.
This man is just walking. He didn't like it. He jumped off the rock and came and stood in front of him. Said, who the hell are you? And, do you know who I am? He showed his mala, all fingers. Oh.
I guess I'm kind of curious as to what does he think he would accomplish by this? You know, he can never go back to that town. You know, once he accomplishes either 1,000 or 101 kills, you know, what happens after that? Is he satisfied? Sure, but he can never go back to that town and do anything because they know who he is and they're gonna kind of shun him. Maybe he goes to a different town. At that point, you might as well just have went to a different town and started your life there without having to kill people. And I guess I'm kind of curious, is this based on a true story or is this just a story that's being told? It'd be very odd to be a very true story, but then, you know, they say truth is stranger than fiction, so… And I wouldn't doubt that, honestly. Just, there are psychopaths in this world and people who are born with, you know, whatever in their brain, and you know, you can see this actually happen even in modern times. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if this person was considered sane or not, but then again, you know, like I said, could have been based on a true story. I just don't know if it is or isn't, if it's or it's just a story to tell, to tell a very… what's the word I'm trying to look for? Anyway, to tell a story to prove a point of something. That's not the right way to say it, but you know what I mean, hopefully.
And you know about me? Gautama said, well, I've heard a lot about you. What about it? And he kept walking. Where do you think you're going? You still going when I'm talking to you? Gautama said, I stopped going long time ago. My going stopped long time ago. I have arrived. You're the one who trying to go somewhere. Then Angulimala laughed. He said, rubbish. You are definitely an insane man. I am standing still, you say I am going. You are walking and you say you are not going. What's wrong with you? He said, no, no, I have arrived long time ago, I am not going anywhere. You are the one who's trying to go somewhere. But you don't know how to go there. You want my finger? Or you want my neck? Hang my head as a as a pendant. You got fingers, you can hang my head. Now it'll be a good pendant for the necklace. Because I'm done, I've arrived. It doesn't matter whether I'm physically here or not. You can do what you want. See, the pleasure of this killing is only when you're terrified and you don't want to die. When someone wants to die and they don't care, what's the use of killing this guy?
So it almost switched from killing people because he's upset at the town to now enjoying the thing he did to get back at the town, becoming, I guess, a genuine psychopath.
And it looks like even if you kill this guy, your lust for 101 lives will not be fulfilled because this guy doesn't give you the pleasure. Then he said, wait, you tell me, what is this about? You're moving and you're saying you have arrived and you're not moving. I am not moving and you say I'm moving. You're looking for fulfillment in your own way, 101. I'm fulfilled, that's the big difference. And you can take my life. If you think you're going to be fulfilled, do it. Because this is my work, to fulfill people. If it's going to happen so easy that without a teaching, just by slashing my throat, you're going to be fulfilled, just do it, what's the problem? Now Angulimala became his star disciple. Then Gautama said, you must go into the town from which you have killed 100 people. In a small town, 100 people means almost every family has lost somebody to this man. So he made him into a monk. Gautama's monks were called bhikkhus. Bhikkhus means beggars, literally. So he gave him an yellow cloth and a begging bowl. He said, go look for some food in the town. So Angulimala came into the town as a monk. People saw this and they were terrified, they don't know why he has come. They all went and stood on their terraces because they are afraid what he will do. Then when they saw he's become tamed, he's not the same fierce man, then they started throwing stones at him because each family has lost somebody to him. So he continued, stones hit him, he was bleeding all over. Then when it became, stone throwing became little in excess. Then Gautama came in, asked the people to stop and said, this is not the same man. This man is an extension of me. You're throwing stones at me. So stop. There's no point killing this man because this man in a very hard way has come to realization. You can't waste this man now by killing him. And Angulimala became, as I said, a star disciple, went all over the country spreading Buddha's way of teaching, living and knowing. So it doesn't matter what kind of fulfillment you're looking for. You think it will happen with education, or at least you thought. The moment you got educated, you felt like a fool. If I don't have a job, what is the use of this education? You got a job, you felt great. Then after some time you felt like a fool. What do I do with this money if I don't find that my dream man or dream woman? That happened. After some time you felt like a fool. This goes on. The desire is simply to expand, that's your desire. If you choose physical, material ways to expand, you can go that far, or that far, or that far. But still there will be desire, yes? If I make you the king of this planet, you will look at the other planets. If I give you the solar system, you will look at the galaxy. If I give you one galaxy, you will look at the other galaxies. Now, what you're looking for is not this or that, you're looking for expansion. If you look at it consciously, you will become yoga. Yoga does not mean twisting and turning. You will come to union with the rest of the creation. If you do it unconsciously, it becomes compulsive desire, that's all.
Okay, so I think she's going to show the rest of this. So, okay, this is a bit different from Sem's teachings of this. If I remember correctly, I believe he said that Angulimala actually just stayed in the cave and stayed in the cave essentially because, you know, it makes both stories can make sense. One to, in a sense, ask for forgiveness from the world. And two, he is, in a sense, Sem's teaching, or Sem's story is, he's he did so much damage, now he, in a sense, must repent. Repent in terms of that he must not acknowledge, he must not go into the world anymore. Or two, Sadhguru's ways, where it's repenting in the world itself by going, by, in a sense, being a beggar, I suppose. I mean, the way you repent, generally speaking, you repent by doing things in the town, so the people that you've killed, essentially, it looks like it was targeting from this one particular town. You do what you can to help them as much as possible, and ask nothing of them. But again, a bit of two different stories. Some, I believe, said 1,000 people, and after Buddha, he went to a cave and just kind of stayed there and just practiced Buddhism for the rest of his life. And then Sadhguru here, it was 101 total that he had to do, and on the 101 one, he 101, he end up realized that he will not be fulfilled, and decided to follow Gautama, and just follow his ways. In which I believe he went to he went to town. He didn't. I don't think he asked for. I don't know what he did in this town. Obviously, he did go beg, but I don't know if he's repented for his sins in a sense. Whether he, you know, did duties around the town or whatever it may be. But clearly, it seems like he did go out into the world and preach Buddhist teachings. So he didn't just stay in this town, he went to other towns, at least according to Sadhguru. So I don't know which story is true, or again, whether the story is true in itself, or is it a story to teach people that people can repent, or people, what desires they have are never going to be satisfied by the world because she'll just always want that one more. And I think in both occasions, I believe they didn't get that last skill, that last kill, because they come to the realization that, you know, getting that one more is probably not going to be something very satisfying, and they don't know what they're going to do with their lives afterwards. It's kind of like what Sadhguru here was talking about, how great, now I got this education, I need to get a job for it. Great, now I've got a job, I need to buy me a house. Oh, I bought me the house, now I gotta buy me a car. Now I buy me a car, I have to save money for retirement. oh, I have kids, I have to buy, I have to make more money for college and food and all these, a never-ending desire and seeking of things. I wouldn't say necessarily not content, but just it's more than likely you're kind of, it is honestly not content, but it's more along the lines like it's almost like you're struggling in life. It's never the desire, I guess. It's the desire that keeps coming up and it's never ever fulfilled. That 101 kills is like passing elementary school, passing middle school, passing high school, passing college, getting the degree, getting the job, getting the promotion, getting the car, getting the house, getting the man or wife of your life, getting kids, getting retirement, going to vacation. You know, all these things are kills, quote unquote. And it's just never enough. You're always wanting to do more, and I'm wondering if maybe this is just a story for that, to show that that you can never necessarily satisfy your desires. Although I don't know how you get to the preaching part, but at least in terms of yourself, to be content with yourself. And I personally, it's okay to desire some things, but it's the extremes. It's to think that satisfying those desires will make you happy. So it's okay to want things, so long as you understand these things are temporary. But it's very difficult. It's quite difficult, not impossible to do. Obviously, we always want the newest and latest of whatever it may be. And you know, when you get it, you're satisfied temporarily, and then 3 months later, an updated version if it comes out. But anyways, again, let me know in the comments below. Is it based on a true story, or is it just a story to teach a lesson? That's the word I was looking for. A story to teach the lesson. Anyways, that's my reaction to, man, not exactly a great way to start off the YouTube video by saying, cut my throat if it fulfills you. Anyways, if you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.